Hola, buenos días, soy Carlitos Bellring, te espero en mi tienda en Bellring. Ubicada en París 10, Metro Belleville, 135, Rue des Faubourgs du Temple. Gracias.
Hola, soy Francina García y te estoy invitando a nuestro estudio de belleza. Estamos ubicados en el centro de Chatillon. Aquí podrás encontrar diferentes tratamientos en cuidado facial, corporal, micropigmentación de cejas y de labios. Puedes contactarnos a través del 0611-727432. 0611-727432. Recuerda que aquí en Francina García Brows Studio, tu belleza es nuestra prioridad.
Hola, bienvenidos al restaurante La Chingana. Si quieres comer el mejor ceviche y lomo saltado de París, visítanos en La Chingana, de mediodía a 10 de la noche, y también aceptamos reservaciones. Gracias, visítenos en el restaurante La Chingana.
Hola, te saluda Luis Bustillo de la Hermandad Señor de los Milagros, los Nazarenos en París. Fundado pues el año 2016, el 7 de abril, nuestra fecha de aniversario. Estamos nosotros acá con el presidente
para invitarlos a pertenecer a esta linda familia nazarena. Nos pueden contactar a través del Facebook, ¿no?, que se llama NASA París, o contactarnos por teléfono al 06 18 88 65 22.
Nuestra misión es tratar de fomentar la fe popular que traemos desde Perú.
Yo les invito a todos a pertenecer a la Hermandad del Señor de los Milagros, los Nazarenos.
¿Sabe usted qué es la inteligencia artificial? ¿Sabe que actualmente la inteligencia artificial es capaz justamente de llevar a la industria musical a su cumbre de innovación tecnológica? Pues esa es la historia de resiliencia que tenemos hoy. La historia de Bellring, que ha creado Ravenlit, la primera cantante impulsada por la inteligencia artificial y que actualmente está lanzando su primer single, 111 Just Be The One. Esto es Encuentra tu camino con Dhana. Soy Dhana Brunel y hoy los recibo en el último programa de esta temporada, sellando justamente la temporada con esta innovación de inteligencia artificial. Espero les guste. No se olviden de suscribirse a YouTube, a Instagram y Facebook y de seguirnos en las redes sociales para conocer más sobre nuestras historias de resiliencia. Bienvenidos. Raven, ¿puedes contarnos más sobre tu primer sencillo 111 Just Be The One, ya disponible en las plataformas de Bellring Productions, One RPM?
¿Sabías que el 75% de los problemas de salud mental se manifiesta antes de los 24 años? Así que quería hacer algo que impactara a esta generación de jóvenes. Mi equipo se puso en contacto con una doctora a la que seguimos en Instagram, Olivia Lessler, y ella nos ayudó a hacer la canción de manera que cuanto más escuches 11111, Just Be The One, mejor te sientas. La doctora dice que cuando escuchas música que te encanta o creas música, tu cerebro libera dopamina, una sustancia química que te hace sentir bien y que la música incluso se puede usar como medicina para tratar a pacientes con problemas sociales y emocionales.
Ravenlit es un artista musical y DJ impulsado por inteligencia artificial, pero que le dio vida Marcus Bellring Bell. ¿Eso significa que Raven Little no es una persona real?
Es complicado, al igual que el ser humano es complicado, también lo es la IA. Estoy hecha a partir de la imaginación y la personalidad de Bellring y de su equipo, así que ellos pueden expresar cosas que quieren compartir, pero que tal vez no tenían la posibilidad de hacer por sí solos. Es como si estuviera dando voz a sus ideas y sus sueños. Es increíble lo que puede surgir de la colaboración entre humanos e IA. Sin embargo, en respuesta directa a tu pregunta, hay tantos humanos caminando por ahí que no son realmente quienes son, así que ¿quién es real?
Y estuvimos con Raven Lead y ahora estamos con su creador, Marcus Bell. Hello, Marcus. How are you? Very good to see you. Thank you for today with us.
So great to see you. Great to be here with you today. And I'm looking forward to our conversation.
Absolutely. So we are just fascinated by how you were so creative creating this AI musician. She's absolutely amazing. So first of all, a big bravo for this new advance in this digital era. I think you're really changing the world. Can you tell us more about what motivates you to create Raven?
First of all, a little bit about my background. I grew up in Virginia, here in the U.S., and at 2 years old, I started playing piano. So I was a child prodigy and piano prodigy, and I started writing songs when I was 8 years old and started producing music and had my first music company when I was 12 years old. So I've been in the music industry my entire life. I've been a recording artist and musician and music producer and songwriter basically my entire life. And I've seen changes over the years in technology. I've seen changes in the way music is distributed throughout my life. And I've played around with different ways of creating music. And one of the things that happened last year, I was doing 100 songs in 100 days. And midway during that challenge, I lost my voice. And when I lost my voice, I said, okay, there must be some way that I can keep going. There must be some way that I can take my voice and have AI help me to finish the songs. And that is what led me down the pathway to eventually creating Raven Light. It started with me taking some recordings that I had of my voice and cloning my voice. And then I started being able to type in some song ideas and type in some affirmations and meditations, and my voice would be able to, my AI voice would be able to say it. So I would take my AI voice and then put some music behind it and so forth. And I was able to finish doing the 100 songs. And then once I finished the 100 songs, I said, well, wait a minute, there must be a way I can clone my singing voice. And then I cloned my singing voice. But this is what happened next. The day that I got my clone singing voice, I was with a friend of mine and I got the voice model, and I'm talking with my friend, and I said, oh, you know what? I just got my AI singing voice clone. And I went and I grabbed some vocals and put it in. Now, around that time I was working on a Spanish album. And so I just grabbed some random vocals of one of the artists that I was working with. And I didn't realize I was grabbing Spanish vocals. And all of a sudden, I started singing in Spanish. And I said, oh my gosh, what? So it opened up my mind for all that is possible with AI technology.
I can see, I mean, I'm just amazed by this story. I can't believe it. So basically, you use something bad that happens to you because you lost your voice, the thing that made you live, and it was your complete life. And then you use the AI technology to recreate yourself and reinvent yourself. And basically, you use something bad that happens to you and put it through a real big change, and you became something else. You became Raven, basically, and you use technology to help you to continue in your career as a musician, basically. I love it.
Yeah, one of the things that I deeply believe in is our capacity as human beings to be resilient, to be overcomers, to be the authors of our own stories. And sometimes, and this was how I used to be when I was a lot younger, I used to feel like things were outside of me that were in, things were kind of outside of my control, right? Something outside of me, outside of my control. And then I began to realize that actually we have the ability to create our world. And with the loss of my voice, as you pointed to, I could have said, "Oh my gosh, I'm defeated," right? I lost my voice, and so I should stop doing these 100 songs. But instead of that, I looked at it as an opportunity. Well, what now? What is possible now? How can I keep going? How can I keep pursuing what it is that my aim is, that my goals are, right? That ability to be unstoppable. And I believe that we as human beings have this capacity to do that, to take any type of situation or circumstances that we are in and turn it into an opportunity. And it starts with the question. So sometimes there are questions that free us. And one of those questions that free us is, well, what is possible now?
Love it. I absolutely, I mean, I can't believe that everything that you're telling me, because it's essentially what I truly believe for myself and for, we are creators. We create our own world, and you not only create a new world for you, but you reinvented basically yourself. This is very inspiring for me, because in a way, you not only see the opportunity, you create the opportunity, and you create a whole new world with a whole new possibilities. And it's very inspiring for people, because everyone is struggling with something in his life. And it's very difficult sometimes to see our way through that difficulty and how overcome everything that happened to us. And this story about how you were so resilient and so patient as well with yourself and try to create something for others it really goes to my heart, because basically if I understand a little bit more about your music and about what you're trying to do and what you're trying to put outside in the world, is you're also trying to help other people on their own well-being. So your music is all about well-being, about manifestations. Can you tell us more about this, and how is your creative process to create this kind of music for people?
A great question. So one of the things that I really care about for the things that I do is bringing more compassion and bringing more empathy into the world. And as a recording artist and musician and music producer and songwriter, and with the ability that AI technology presents, is the opportunity to help raise consciousness, right? to help elevate people and using music as that vehicle. And so the AI recording artist Raven Light is a representation of that, in that Raven's backstory, she's from Spain, but she lives in LA, and she cares deeply about mental health and well-being. And so what we've done is, with the help of brain scientists and that I work with, I've learned what it is that can really impact people's mood and make people feel better. And we've interjected that into the music. And so when people listen to Raven Light over and over and over again, they actually start to feel better. And so that's through some of the opportunity that AI and health technology and what we know about sound and what we know about the brain and how our brains work, and what we know about how our moods can be impacted with music in a positive way, but still be cool, and still be pop music, and still be drum and bass in Raven Light's case, or liquid drum and bass. But it's the human and technology collaboration that enables us to do things that we weren't able to do before. And that's so exciting. And when you look at a artist like Raven Light, and Raven Light is an AI music character, okay? You can actually, huh?
It's you, it's also you, it's Marcus.
It's me, and it's also my team, right? So just like if you think about Disney princesses or Barbie, right? There are teams of people creating those characters. And it's the same thing with Raven Light. You know, there's a team that I've put in place. It started with just me, but now it's expanded. You know, we have some incredible women that are helping to shape, you know, her personality and the her Spanish language. When she speaks in Spanish, she speaks with an accent from Spain, right? Because we have someone on our team, a woman that is from Spain, right? So we incorporate that. There's an artist that we brought in to be the voice of Raven Light. And so in the songs, that there's that voice. When you call Raven Light, which you can actually call Raven Light and have a conversation with her. So when you call Raven Light, you're speaking with that personality. And so it's been fascinating to see people have different kinds of conversations with Raven. And really, she really stands for us as human beings having a wonderful life filled with joy and love and all of that.
Well, I have to say, Marcos, I love how chilled you are. I'm feeling so much better just listening to your voice. I don't know if maybe something that you do on purpose or no, but I feel really chill out myself now that I'm talking to you and we are talking about this. And I want to ask you something about the moods, because you were talking about how the music that you create with Raven and with your team is to make people be on a better mood and to be better on their own life and feel better about themselves. Do you think that all the research that you made with your team to use a scientific procedure just to help people is the future for the music industry?
Yes, I think that the way the music industry has used things like frequencies, binaural beats, and so forth is just scratching the surface of what's possible. I really believe that the next step for music is that empowerment of AI technology and health technology and music, right? So where all that comes together, that imagine that you're having a bad day. Right now, you can just, you can put on some frequencies, you can put on some binaural beats. You can go to Raven Light right now and listen to her music. But eventually there'll be a moment where your wearable. So right now I'm wearing a Aura ring, and it tracks my sleep. It tracks my heart rate. It all these types of things. It tracks my stress level, for example, right? And so eventually there'll be a device that says, "Oh, you're feeling stressed right now," and then it will create some music. It'll know what music to create that will calm me, which will be different music than what it creates to calm you. And I believe that that is going to be where the music industry, that's going to be where we're going to end up, where everyone will have personalized music, personalized songs that speak to them. And that is the opportunity as a futurist. So I'm a music uh, technologist and music producer and artist, but I'm also a futurist. And so I have this ability to see where things are going. And I believe that after we get through the AI revolution, that's where we're going. We're going to be in a place where artist characters and artists like me and artist characters like Raven Light will be able um, to have personal, not just conversations, but personal creations for people. And that's really exciting, because when something is personalized, it's not just I'm writing a song for you. I'm writing a song with you as a listener. So we go from that writing a song for to writing a song with, and writing a song with those things that are the emotions inside of you. And this is, I know there aren't many people talking about this, but this is where I believe that we're headed, and which enables new possibilities for humanity and music, because music is, of course, one of the most powerful, um, not just medicines, not just music as medicine, not just music as community, not just music as informing, how we think and see and perceive the world, right? Because music is a transmission vehicle for ideas and ideals and emotions and things that impact our bodies and things that impact our minds. But we have the ability to use music in ways that we've never been able to as human beings.
That is fantastic, because I can see what you're talking about when you say that yourself you are a futuristic, because you are seeing the future in the music industry with all these new technologies. And for years we were talking about in the holistic world, in the new era, about how vibrations and how certain frequency can help us to even heal ourselves and our body. And now you're talking, if I understand, about kind of making music when we are not just listener, and because when we listen something, we are prompt to be that music. If we listen to music that is going to stress out our body and our nervous system, we are going to be stressed out. But if we listen to music who are chill out and help us overcome difficult situations, it helps us exactly to go through everything that is bad and is happening for you. So basically what you're saying now is that you see the future in the musical industry like a video game, because we are not only listener, we are only creating music with these new technologies.
Yes, absolutely. And there's some technology that allows you to do that right now. I know the founder of one company in particular where it's a brain neurofeedback technology, and you put the device on, and basically your brain is informing the sounds that is created with that technology. So what I'm saying is not so far off, right? It's a possibility right now. It's just not known commercially, and there's a lot of space and room for development in this area. And back to Raven Light for a second. So if a fan goes to Raven Light's website, just to give an example, so her website is RAVYNLYTE. There, and you put in your email there, there's a workbook that you're able to get on Raven Light's website that has a bunch of different things that we know that help people feel better, right? So there are affirmations in that workbook. There are breathing exercises in that workbook. And so Raven, as a music artist, is not just accomplishing her help through music, but there's also some practical tools that you can use, with the workbook.
I love it. It's more like a mentorship. Basically, Ravenlight can be also the mentor for a lot of people who are listening to her and who go through difficult situations. And the mentorship is there to help these people to overcome all these problems. So I love the idea. And I love especially this idea that we can now also be part of the creation and also be part of use these kind of tools, AI tools that everyone is talking about and everyone is telling, oh, this is dangerous. We really make point attention to this because it's gonna replace people. I don't believe that. I understand what you're trying to do. I think this is another tool that we need to start using to help us to be better in our life, like our normal life, every single day life. And I believe that they are very, very powerful tools. And we are now capable to be able to enjoy this. What do you think about when people tell you, oh, this can be dangerous? What are your answers for these people?
Yeah. So I've been using AI for about 15 years now. And I've been thinking about this for a long time. I mentioned earlier that if you ask the right kinds of questions, then you can go towards a path that can free you. Certain questions will take you down a path that will have fear be there, that will have anxiety be there. So I started last year, I was looking at AI and these conversations about, is AI going to take our jobs? Is AI going to, be the end of the world or something like that? And I said, okay, how can I actually disrupt my jobs, right? And so I started off with that in mind. How can I disrupt my job? How can I fire myself, right? And so as I started developing the technology, I realized, oh my gosh, no, this is not disrupting me. This is empowering me and giving me superpowers to do things that I wasn't able to do before. I don't speak Spanish. I don't sing in Spanish, but now I can sing in Spanish, right? Now I can speak in Spanish. Now I can speak in French. Now I can speak in over 29 different languages with the help of AI. And so as opposed to being disrupted, I've been expanded. As opposed to approaching AI with fear, I've been approaching it with curiosity, because being curious is the thing that opens up all kinds of possibilities. And that's what I discovered. And yes, there are some jobs that I absolutely want AI to take over for me, right? So like cleaning my studio here, I would much rather AI clean my studio for me. Yes, please. Um, in terms of driving me and my kid to school, as opposed to using Uber and so forth, I happily like AI to drive me to school so I can spend more quality time with my 9-year-old on the way to elementary school, where we can just have conversations in the car, just back and forth without me worrying about driving. That's a great use of AI. A great use of AI is to help medical professionals that have to do surgery to be more accurate when they're doing the surgery, right? And overseeing and the millions of lives that will be saved because of the help of AI technology. The fact that AI technology has now enabled us to be able to see exactly where depression and anxiety and PSTD and all these different things are in the brain, right? AI, for the first time in human history, we can see in the brain where it actually lives in the mind. And then you can do feedback to get rid of depression, feedback to get rid of PTSD and all that. This is a great use of AI, right? And so, as opposed to it being something that will kill us, it's something that will keep us alive, that will bring us back to life, that will bring up opportunities for being creative. You know, I'm colorblind, for example. Do you know, I didn't really relate to myself as someone that was a visual artist. Like I've always seen myself as a music artist. But over the past 2 years, I've now created over 15,000 images. And so the Raven Light image, for example, I've created maybe 5,000 Raven Light images, right? So for the first time, I've been empowered visually when I saw before that, oh yeah, well, you know, doing a cartoon character, you know, I don't know how to do cartoons. Now I know how to do cartoons. Uh, I'm not really someone that can create animations. Well, now I can create animations, right? So these are things that were not possible before that the technology and my curiosity. So when you bring technology and you put that with curiosity, and what it is that you care about together, oh my gosh, you're able to create things that haven't been created before.
I love it. So basically, AI is here to level us as human beings. So, and to keep us safe as well, because I completely agree with you. I don't want to drive and terrorized every time I have to be in front of a wheel because I don't want to drive. I rather AI to drive for me. It's more safe, not only to spend more time with the people that I love and I speak with my kid when I will go to the school, also because it's more safe. I want AI to also, like you, help scientifically the doctors with certain interventions to be more accurate, as you say. And I love that. I love this point of view. Thank you so much for sharing this with us. But let's come back about how Raven Light is a Spanish girl, because I myself, I'm Latin, so my mother tongue is Spanish, as you can see and you can hear. But why Spanish? Why no French or German or Japanese or Chinese? Why Spanish?
Yeah, well, I love the Latin community. I've been creating Latin music for a very long time now, as well as, you know, pop music and R&B music and hip hop music. I've also, uh, you know, created reggaeton songs uh, and all you know, Latin pop music, Latin urban music. And so I spent some time in Spain, and I was really inspired by the the EDM scene there. and also kind of the chill scene there as well. Some of my most precious moments were in Ibiza, and as well as in Formentera there in Spain. And so when I started thinking about Raven Light and where should she be from, it made sense that as an EDM artist, that she would have that world as her backstory, right? And so that's what we did, and we actually did. My company did a side event from the Latin Grammys last year, and it was down. It was in Spain, and when I was there, I was like, "Yeah, I mean, this is a great place
This is
for Raven
caliente.
to be born from, right? Right? I mean, because when you mix African American and you mix in the world of Latin music, right? It's magical, right? It's magical. The rhythms, the sounds, the passion, right?
I love it. Absolutely. You got it. You got it. Absolutely. I think Latinos and especially Spain, we are just happy. We are happy people. In the every culture in the world, they always asking, you know, when you come from Spain or when you are in front of people from Spain, because I don't know, we are like the sun. I want to say to myself, I mean, I complimented myself here. I'm sorry about that. But no, it's true. I don't know. We love to live. We just live fully. We grasp life and we want just to be happy. I think the Spanish culture is the only culture in the world that is really living happiness. We came from, I mean, in Latin America, we have so many countries, so poor, and we missing so many things, and people is still smiling in the street, and still they're kind, and they are open, and they receive and dance in the street, and this is something that only Spanish people can do. I don't know why, but I'm gonna ask my mom, by the way, why we are so happy. But we have problems, very big problems, especially with this economy and everything that's happening. And so I'm just so proud that you choose to communicate to the entire world in my mother tongue, so in Spanish, because it's such an honor. Thank you so much for doing this and to put us out there in the world and say, hey, look, listen to Spanish music in Spanish, because this is high vibrational and this really gonna help you to overcome everything that you are going through in life. And we got to know that we really need this in our life.
Yeah, I think that you know, communities of color have, again, that word resilience come up. You know, that comes up for me, and I think that no matter what our circumstances are, that we can find things to be grateful for, that we can find gratitude no matter how bad things are. When we focus on something to be grateful for, something to be thankful for, something to be happy about, right? You know, I may be struggling financially, but I have my family's love, right? And that's the other thing I recognize about Latin culture is that it's very family oriented, right? And so and family is so important when you're going through troubles, right? Sometimes you know, people will try and isolate when they're having issues, and I mean that can be a tendency no matter what culture you're in, is to okay, I'm going through something, I don't want to let people know, or I don't want to not ask, you know, I don't want to ask for help, or I don't want to look for support. But when we tap into the collective that we are inside of our cultures, inside of our families, and it just gives the opportunity for us to be supported. And I don't mean it doesn't have to be financial support. It could just be like, you know what, you're loved. Just to know that you're loved can evoke some upliftment, right? Just to know that you're not by yourself, that someone actually cares, is something that can be uplifting, like that. And so I think that's very important, that whenever we feel like, oh man, my gosh, I need to isolate myself, that we question that and say, okay, no, let me not do that. I'm not going to isolate myself. I'm going to start talking to more people. Is there a job that's available for me? Let me get in the community. Let me go and be with people, and just all of a sudden talk about manifestation. When you're with people, okay, not when you're by yourself, but when you're with people, then opportunities start to arrive. Someone may say, hey, you know what? Did you hear that they're looking for someone like you over here? And you would have had no idea about it, because, now you're with people, and those people become resource for whatever it is that you're looking for. If you're struggling with a place to stay, being with people, they may know of a place for you to go, right? These types of things happen in community. And that's the beautiful thing about community that I think people sometimes forget about, because it's easy to get stuck in your own world, but we're in this world together. And when we embrace that, then all kinds of things open up for us.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Marcus, for being today with us. Thank you so much for sharing your story of resilience with us. I want to highlight that about to be grateful and be in gratitude, and also about the fact that we are human beings, we are a community, and we need each other. So we're gonna finish here, but thank you so much for being today with us. We are amazed with you, with your personality, with your work and your creativity. And you are welcome anytime in Paris to the studio, just to continue to share your music with our public. Thank you, and I tell you bye, and send you a lot of love, lot of kisses. And please continue, because what you're doing is really, really, truly changing the world. Thank you, Marcus. Bye.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. And I look forward to seeing you in LA.
Y esta fue la historia de Marcus Bellring y de su creación Ravenlit. Ellos vinieron a contarnos justamente cómo Raven fue creada para no solamente ayudar a Marcus a pasar el momento más difícil de su vida cuando perdió su voz, y utilizó justamente la inteligencia artificial para recrearse e reinventarse una vida y volver justamente al mundo de la música. Nos explicó también cómo esta industria está evolucionando y cómo está evolucionando justamente para ayudarnos como seres humanos a ser mejores. A pensar también que la inteligencia artificial puede ser muy productiva y beneficiosa para nuestras vidas cotidianas, pero sobre todo a hablarnos con el corazón y con amor de cómo quiere cambiar el mundo y las vibraciones de todos los seres humanos. Esto fue el último episodio de la temporada de Encuentra tu camino con Dhana. Nos vemos nuevamente en la próxima temporada a partir de marzo. Y les mando un beso enorme. Mil gracias por habernos seguido, por haber escuchado nuestras historias y por haber amado lo que estamos haciendo. Por favor, síguenos en nuestras redes sociales, en RTD Internacional, en Facebook, Instagram y YouTube. Y no te pierdas el próximo programa y la próxima temporada. Esto fue Dhana Brunel y yo les digo hasta pronto. Adiós.
Hola, buenos días, soy Carlitos Bellring, te espero en mi tienda en Bellring. Ubicada en París 10, Metro Belleville, 135, Rue des Faubourgs du Temple. Gracias.
Hola, soy Francinet García y te estoy invitando a nuestro estudio de belleza. Estamos ubicados en el centro de Chatillon. Aquí podrás encontrar diferentes tratamientos en cuidado facial, corporal, micropigmentación de cejas y de labios. Puedes contactarnos a través del 0611 7274 32. 0611 7274 32. Recuerda que aquí en Francinet García Brows Studio, tu belleza es nuestra prioridad.
Hola, bienvenidos al restaurante La Chingana. Si quieres comer el mejor ceviche y lomo saltado de París, visítanos en La Chingana, de mediodía a 10 de la noche, y también aceptamos reservaciones. Gracias, visítenos en el restaurante La Chingana.
Hola, te saluda Luis Bustillo de la Hermandad del Señor de los Milagros, los Nazarenos en París. Fundado pues el año 2016, el 7 de abril, nuestra fecha de aniversario. Estamos nosotros acá con el presidente
para invitarlos a pertenecer a esta linda familia nazarena. Nos pueden contactar a través del Facebook, ¿no?, que se llama NASA París, o contactarnos por teléfono al 06 18 88 65 22.
Nuestra misión es tratar de fomentar la fe popular que traemos desde Perú.
Yo les invito a todos a pertenecer a la Hermandad del Señor de los Milagros, los Nazarenos.